So here's the situation. The situation is I found a way, implemented a way for Manim to communicate with three.js and actually render data and shaders from three.js, which is super cool. However, after doing that, I found a bug in a pretty early commit, so I have to fix that now. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I do have to do that. And then I should probably PR this stuff. Okay, so here's what I should do. This branch has the fix on it, but I don't have a name of the original base branch, so if I look at where I have the three.js thing here, I need to go to this checkout, or this commit or whatever. Oh wait, before I do that, make one here, this is the fix. I'll just call it that. Then switch that commit. This commit. If I type here, okay. And it didn't work because I have this to do. What did I even change here? All of this is the same. Okay, this was the change. I added this use depth test. Boolean. I'll just say, check depth test. I'll just say that. That's fine. Now I'm gonna move here. Move the branch to here. And now if I look at the three.js change. Okay, this is where I want it. So this will have the bug. Meaning if I do this, I should see a bug. I have to remove the embed. Comment this, do this again. Yeah, and there's the bug. Those lines, you can see the lines like disappear when it switches into the circle. And it's not supposed to do that. Okay. So the fix for this should be fairly straightforward. All I think I need to do is in the renderer when I'm rendering a mobject. Here I need to pass that use depth test. I think it's called depth test here. I think that's all actually. Great. Pretty anticlimactic after I had to do so much work figuring it out. Why the... okay. Random settings. So I'm going to undo the change the example here. Don't need to do that. So now it's only one line. Okay, I'll add that. Great. This should be pretty easy to rebase onto. Let's switch here. This now isn't rebased onto the shader object. Do I want to rebase? I'm not sure if I want to rebase this one or I have to rebase PyGUI first. I think I do have to rebase PyGUI first. I should probably learn Git one day. I'm gonna do PyGUI first. Shader object. Okay, that was really easy. I'll do it again. Onto PyGUI. Okay, now I think all of these are in order. I have the examples I wrote back, and if I run the interactive development, oh, this will pause because I didn't take out the embed. Comment the embed, come back. Great, so this is perfect now. At least as perfect as I can hope for it. So now I should really... I'll start PRing this, but before I start PRing it, I'm going to see if I can pull any more... See if there's any more data I should pull from three.js. Because currently, I managed to pull over shader and material data. So I'll try to show that. And I should do it just to make sure this is still working. What's the 3-fong server test? Oh man. Some of my shortcuts aren't set up because I changed my Vim configuration a lot. And so a lot of times stuff isn't set up. Dang! I have to do it like this, I think? Man, that'll be way too slow. I might have to update that. But basically, I can fetch this geometry from three.js over here using this fong server function. I've set it up so that I can move the light source as well, which is pretty neat. I sort of think it should maybe be a little have more variance from where you can move it. What is the geometry that I use? Let's see. When I was pulling this, I hit this fong material service. Oh wait, no, the material is not important. It's the geometry. So torus not geometry. I guess I gave it a radius of 2. Okay. I'm going to update the widgets. I'm going to put this from -40 or so. This might break the lights somehow. Okay, so let's see. But you can tell the difference is a bit more pronounced, which is good. That's what I was going for. What's good is I can totally tell this is working. So that's great. What I think I want to do is try to take one more geometry and just to make sure I can do everything. Oh, that, and this is currently not synced up to the camera controls. If I drag the mouse or whatever, this won't be affected. So I do need to connect this to the camera controls. But let's icosahedron geometry is nice, so I'll try to take that one. Partially just to make sure I can still add other geometries. Okay. So let's see what this will take. Firstly, I'll have to update the proto. There are a few different things that this is touching, so I'll have to add another RBC. What was it called? Icosahedron geometry. Now I'll just do this for all of these. I'll just copy the torus stuff. That's fine. Change that, change that. Now all of these... Oh, there's only one parameter. 2 parameters. If you count radius. This actually seems like it might be better for approximating a sphere than the actual sphere geometry. This requires a lot of segments. But this one... I don't know. Seems like it might be better. This only needs radius and detail. So I can build this out like so. Get back this. And now that the proto has been written, I can fill this out on the server side. Like so. Write out this function. It's going to look a lot like the one for the torus knot. Okay, so let me... Yeah, then I'll just have to create one here. It will be just this dot radius and this dot detail. And the defaults, 1 and 0. Okay. And then I'll just pass that back, and that shouldn't have the extra G there. Did I put icosahedron wrong? Okay. Okay, so if I rerun this server now... Okay, now it should be serving that icosahedron geometry. And then if I... In Manim... No, I wasn't trying to do that. I can go into the gRPC code, copy in that new proto definition here. And it's just a script to update the protos. From there, I think I can just request another one. Request the new geometry. I just do basically that. And that did not work. Which I guess you should have figured. What happened? Geometry response. It looks like nothing crashed. Oh, you know what it had to be? This is running the same process, so it never got a chance to read the new proto data. So this I have to stop. And then run it again. Okay, there we go. This is a neat one. I like that one. It makes it pretty easy to see where the light is being positioned. Okay. So let me try to pass the parameters. So there's radius that defaults to 1 and detail that defaults to 0. I'm gonna up the detail. Wow, that gets really spherical really fast. I feel like that is actually better than the sphere. Even, I wasn't trying to do that. Even at detail 1, it's already really close to a sphere. And at 3, it's just, you can't really tell at all. Okay, that's cool. Oh, but this is a float, right? Oh no, this is an integer. Cool. Okay, so that totally works. I'm gonna update that, and then you probably need to work on PRing some of the more advanced shader changes. So I'll do that. Okay. I'm really glad I was able to bring in the Fong material. That was pretty annoying to bring in, and it looks pretty good. It has like the shadows and it has reflection. So I'm glad I was able to do that. Don't know what fog does. That was anyway, that was nice. It would be nice to get normal material would be a really good one to get. That one's good for seeing, I don't know, it lets you see a lot of things about the way the shape behaves. And getting a either standard material or physical material. They might be derived from each other. Oh, physical is an extension of standard material. Anyway, would be nice to get one day, probably. For now... For now, I think that's good. So to start, I have to go back to this and try to PR the new way of rendering objects. Uh-oh. There we go. Now, the problem... This will probably take a little work to PR. I really need to get it done, though. And the reason for that is there was a lot of changes that I ended up not even needing. Like, kind of a ton of them. Like this one for triangulation, I ended up not even using that function. The benefit of this way is that basically the better camera controls. Async task. Async run. Was it async task? This is why I use shortcuts for these things. Async task edit. Update this to the object test. Sync run. It didn't work. What happened? Did I put object test here? Worked that time. Anyway, this has the better camera controls. And it allows mixing 3D meshes with both 2D objects and, to some extent, the 3D objects Grant wrote. But they don't totally behave well. So let me head to the OpenGL renderer. This is where all the magic happens. Don't need this, the projection matrix. I do need the view matrix. Although this, if this is only used once, which it is, this can just be replaced here. That's gonna make that a little easier. These basically describe the camera and the window. Let me see what I can cut down on to make this PR smaller. If I hide this and I look for just for the files, it's not making this easy on me. Okay. A lot of it is just shaders, which honestly I don't think I even want to edit the shaders. Things like the surface code. How did I even change this? I think vertex colors I added. Okay, I actually have to see how I changed some of these things. I'll open another window. And shader, let's see at the frag.glsl. Or default. Frag GLSL. And there's nothing there. Is that not the way to do it? Or maybe I just added it. Can I not look at the changes to a single file like this? Oh, I have to put origin master. So that's the full changes. And now if I do default revert. Okay, so I basically... Oh, I added the entire file. Okay. Daryl Golden, what's going on? And Aquabeam. I'm in the situation where I have a lot of cool changes to my branch, but I think it's going to be kind of tough to PR it all. Maybe I just have to go through all of these one by one. I don't really want to split it up. Although most of the changes are just shader code that honestly nobody's going to understand but me. I wonder what change I made to Grant's old shaders, like this. I shouldn't have made much of a change to those. Are there any other shader people active on Manim? No, I don't think so. Oh, I know what I did. I think I moved the shaders or something like that. Manim renderer. Did I move this directory from something to something else? There are a ton of shaders in here. Wait. What's the way this is set up in the... Can I go to it right now? Manim renderer. So these were already here. Oh, these should be in folders. This like test frag, test vert, Manim chords frag, Manim chords vert. Dang, that's kind of annoying. Because I got to change the way those are parsed from the library. Okay, let me see if I can even use the full screen quad. This. I'll try adding one of those. Actually, there's already a full screen quad test. And I guess I don't capitalize the S here. And embed 2, that's true. There should be interactive embed. I'm surprised you even got that far. The view matrix it doesn't take in. And that makes sense. I'm probably just going to put that in a try except 353. Here, okay, so whenever there's a mesh, which is different from a object, a mesh specifies OpenGL data directly. It always passes in these two, which basically describes the camera. I think this is fine to put in a try, except... Yeah, because this will fail if you try to pass it when the shader doesn't